Hello, Harjeet.
Hi, how are
Good
you?
evening. I'm
Good
good. Thank
evening.
you. How are you?
I'm good. Always good.
Good. Happy to see that and happy to hear that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Growth Mindset Conversation. And please do let us know if you can see us live. Harjeet, I'll take just a couple of seconds to,
Sure.
hear from somebody else so that, we know that we are live. And LinkedIn takes some time, kind of 1 minute or so to reach to the audience. And thank you so much, Harjeet, for your timing. It's a working day, and I know you have a very busy schedule. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
So, welcome everyone. Do let us know. Do message in the comment box if you can see us live. And thank you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, Harjeet, to again to the Growth Mindset Conversations, and welcome everyone to 27th episode of Growth Mindset Conversations. Thank you, all of you who are joining us live. You can write in your comments, your questions in the comment box, and it will be great to know your view on the subject. And if you have any questions, do write those too in the comment box. I'll definitely get your questions to Harjeet. Let me introduce our guest for today. Harjeet is an international speaker, author, poet, visionary, inventor, influencer, and HR leader. He is an alumnus of IIT Roorkee and INSEAD. He is currently working with Reliance Jio. He has published three published patents, and his book Nothing About Business has been a bestseller on Amazon. He has been conferred with multiple awards, including HR Leadership Award, Pride of Nation Award, HR Personality of the Year, Global Digital Ambassador, Global Learning Award. Wow. ETHR Influencer of 2022 and Top 200 Global Leadership Voices of 2022. Harjeet has been a LinkedIn Power Profile, TEDx speaker, guest faculty at IIM Ahmedabad, board member of Federation of World Academics, member of CII HR IR Committee, and co-chair of NASCOM Diversity Committee. What an inspiring and power profile, Harjeet. It's my pleasure to have you on this show, Growth Mindset Conversations.
Thank you. In fact, I am honored to be there on your show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just checking in the comments. Thank you so much for people who are joining us live. I just want to make sure that we are live. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I've started getting comments. Thank you. So Harjeet, as this show is called Growth Mindset Conversations, so the first question of the show always is, what is growth mindset for you as a leader?
Hmm. Look, if you start, suppose you see a glass and you say it is half full, I
Mm-hmm.
believe that is a growth mindset
Okay,
because then you will
interesting.
start working towards making the rest of the half full.
Wow.
So, if you start seeing things with optimism,
Mm-hmm.
uh, then people around you start growing
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
what people need is a ray of hope.
Yeah.
When pandemic was there, everyone was thinking, oh, what will happen to humanity?
Yeah.
And then there were certain voices which were talking about nothing will happen within 2 years, everything will be back to normal. And
Yeah.
you see, uh, whatever it is,
Yeah.
now we have at least overcome the psychological fear of
Yeah.
this pandemic,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is a
Yeah.
win. So it is how you perceive it. As human beings, we have got a vaccine for it, and whatever
Yeah.
we could do, we did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, that is a growth mindset. If you start seeing things in a positive light.
Yeah. Yeah. Glass is half full, but can be filled more. Always can be filled more. That's what, I am getting from what you said.
Yep.
Great metaphor also. And I also feel that growth mindset has a lot to do with what we are going to discuss today, that making effective decision in today's times. So growth mindset is closely related to how leaders make decisions. And as you said, COVID time, a lot has happened. Things are different. So what has changed in the way leaders need to make decision in today's times?
Frankly speaking, nothing has changed. It is like
Hmm.
we are too much absorbed with pandemic, so we love talking about pandemic.
Ah,
It is like,
okay.
okay, there is a hype about something. If there is a cricket match going on or IPL going on, everyone wants to talk about IPL because
Yes.
then it is soothing if you discuss. Suppose if you discuss pandemic, then it is over for you because you have already discussed it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, one is our need to discuss.
yeah.
If you see fundamentals of decision making, they are not changing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I will take example of say McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
When Ray Kroc bought
Yeah,
McDonald from McDonald Brothers,
yeah.
so he opened franchisees, and what he was getting was like he sells a burger and he gets 0.19 cents on each and every burger sold,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Mm-hmm.
was not able to make money. So he met a finance guy. That guy said, "Your burgers are selling like hotcakes. Sorry, they're selling like hot burgers."
Yeah.
So, and if you are thinking that you are going to make money by collecting some, say, percentage of the profit you are making on a
Mhm.
burger, this way you will not never make money.
Yeah.
Your business should not be selling burgers, even though you are making very good burgers. Your
Okay.
business should be real estate. That each and every franchisee should buy real estate from you or should lease real estate from you. They should pay you rent. And
Mm-hmm.
this is what your business model should be. Then you will make billions of dollars. And
Mm-hmm.
today, McDonald's is a real estate company and it is making
Yeah.
billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, this is basically what we say is financial acumen in decision making.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you are in a business role, you want to
Mm-hmm.
pursue decision making, then understanding of finance is something which is very, very basic and
Yeah.
very, very important for everyone. We might say, okay, I want to make a decision. Anyone can make a decision as individuals. Uh, how many decisions we make in a day? It is not one or two or 10. Take a guess how many decisions we make in a day.
Multiple decision. I think, we are always making decisions, isn't choices or decisions, right?
So they say we make 12,000 decisions in a day.
12,000 decisions in a day. Wow.
Yeah. So this is not what I am saying. This is what
Yeah,
research
yeah,
is saying. And
yeah.
232 decisions you take in a day on food, making
Oh, okay.
choices about food. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone makes a decision, but when it comes to business decision making, one
Yeah.
very important piece is the financial aspect.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Second thing I would say is I will tell you IBM story. So IBM is a big tech giant organization, and talk about
Absolutely.
1990s, it was experiencing a near death situation. This was one company which was about to get closed,
Yeah.
and board of directors got together, and they had to bring in a person who can make decisions how this company will survive.
Yeah.
So they brought a CEO from a tobacco organization. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying there is a tech giant bringing a
Mm-hmm.
decision maker from a tobacco company and saying, you take care of this tech giant. And IBM is not like some chalta firta company. It is like a
Right.
proper organization. You have in
Giant.
IBM Nobel laureates working for them. And
Yeah.
this company was at deathbed
Yeah.
because something went wrong. This new person comes in
Yeah.
and he does only one thing, and I'm generalizing, but this was the one of the most prominent things which he did. He went to all the customers, and after going to the customers he asked them, what is that you are looking for? Everyone said there are a lot of technologies, we are looking for something which can integrate these technologies. At that point in time, What uh, IBM was doing is IBM was cutting various divisions of technology and making them separate companies. This guy came in, he said, no, our customers want something different. So we should provide integrated solutions, and he combined that entire company. And 1991 to 2021, you have seen IBM
Absolutely.
growing.
Yeah, yeah,
What is important is you have understanding of financials, and then are you listening to your customers? Once you listen to your customers, your decision making naturally becomes easier because you know for what you are making decision, what is
yeah,
that you are trying to achieve, and that
yeah,
is something which is very very important in decision making.
yeah, yeah.
Look, you have given me a topic where I can talk and talk and talk, so you will have to interrupt me and you will have to ask questions. What is that you are looking for? And
And I know you have one book, upcoming book on decision making, and I'm sure our audience will be keen to listen about the book. Once the book is out, we may have another conversation. So one attribute of decision making is, and all of us know Harjeet is a storyteller, right? So bringing stories is a natural way, and all of us, I'm sure, will enjoy this conversation with the stories. So financial acumen, listening to customer. What are a couple of other attributes of a effective decision making?
so, if you see, you might be thinking that leaders make decisions. You would have been hearing this funda that okay, CEOs make all the decisions, and I also had this perception that CEOs make this decision. When I was researching for this, then I realized it is not the CEOs who make decisions, because every
Mm-hmm.
CEO, how many hours do we work? Like government says you should work 48 hours, and maybe there are CEOs who say that okay, I work twice of that, but still, uh, how many decisions you may take in the time you have, because God has not given anyone more time. So all these people actually create an infrastructure or create organizations which can take decisions on their own. So how do you make sure that your organization is enabled to take decisions?
Mm-hmm.
uh, if you see Amazon had created an approach, and they
Mm-hmm.
said decision making is going to be uh, very there are two kinds of decisions. One are reversible decisions, one are irreversible decisions.
Yeah.
So they said if it is a reversible decision, that you open a door and then you want to go back, uh, you can go back, then anyone can take that decision. Maximum what will happen is if it is wrong, you can actually reverse that decision.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
should not be spending time on those decisions. Instead, we should be spending time on those decisions which are irreversible decisions.
Yeah.
Uh, so, like if you are deciding that I will jump off the roof, that is a irreversible decision. So you should give a thought to it. Same way, if you are uh, doing a merger or a acquisition, uh,
Hmm.
then that time you should be sitting and deciding how I am going to take that decision or make
Yeah.
that decision.
Got you. Yeah. Yeah. Reversible,
Uh,
irreversible decisions. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, Another important piece is creativity in decision making. You
Oh
might be
yeah.
thinking, what has creativity to do with decision making? Creativity is like I will give you example of 3M. So 3M is one organization which has something called 15% rule. And in fact, they have
Mm-hmm.
created many more rules like this. So their 15% rule says 85% time you will be working on whatever the agenda of the organization is. And 15% time you can actually work on the projects which interest you. So if you are, say, if you want to work on some project, then we as an organization will give you 15% time. You have
Yeah.
seen that post-it. That post-it has come from uh, 3M. from that time. They've also created electronic stethoscope that has also come from the same process.
Yeah.
Google copied this and they made
Yeah.
a
20%.
20% rule.
20%. Yeah. Yeah.
And in that 20% rule, they said, and if you see products wise, Google Earth came from that, Gmail came from that.
Absolutely.
There are
Yeah.
there are many products like this which have come out of this 20% rule. Now
Yeah.
you might be thinking, okay, what is decision making here? This is like a decision making environment you have created where you have given flexibility to people so that
Absolutely.
they can use their creative brains for defining the products which are
Yeah.
useful for the organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's right.
this is again a method by which you are channelizing creativity of people. Uh, so this is, I would say, the role of creativity in decision making.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I totally agree with you. You know, creativity is, I think, one very close to my heart kind of a topic, you know, when it comes to decision making. So, I mean, though you said nothing has changed with respect to COVID, but I just want to bring the attention again on that environment where everyone is talking about remote environment, stakeholders who are not now sitting in a room. So, how do we make sure that decisions are creative, effective, inclusive in this kind of a setup where stakeholders, almost everyone is in a remote environment? Any suggestions, or what's your perspective on that?
Look, suppose if we are in a non-pandemic situation, if this would have been happening, say in 2018,
Yeah.
then you would have actually arranged for uh, a hall or something like that, and you would have called me over. All these people who are listening on the webinar, they would have come there. So that is a whole lot of logistics.
Yeah.
Right now, what is happening is you are sparing half an hour, I am sparing half an hour, rest
Yeah.
of our audience, they are also sparing half an hour, and we are
Yeah.
trying to create some kind of magic here.
Yeah.
Uh, the thing has become much faster, speed has increased.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing has
Mm-hmm.
happened with decisions. The
Mm-hmm.
speed has increased because now arranging meetings, if four people have to come together to make a decision, they can do that. Second is, uh, look, data plays a very important role in decision making
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
uh, more we make decisions on data, then chances of making better decisions are much, much higher.
Yeah.
So, what has happened is when you have started transacting on a digital world in a digital environment, then you have more data points than ever,
Okay.
and the
Mm-hmm.
quality of your decision making has improved because you have more data points, you can do more data analysis, your decisions can happen even faster. That is what pandemic has. It is like earlier you were doing say a one day match, you were playing a one day match, and because of pandemic now you are into T20 mode. So batting has not changed, bowling has not changed, fielding has
Hmm.
not changed, wicket keeping
Hmm.
has not changed, everything has
Yeah.
become faster.
Yeah.
So it is the same thing. Things have become faster, they have become more efficient, they are easy to look at, and they are easy to appreciate. That is why focus is there. Oh, pandemic has done something to decision making. Uh,
Hmm.
the core of the decision making is has not changed. It is some of the attributes have changed.
Yeah, yeah. And it's wonderful to hear that, you're saying that speed is actually increased of decision making, because speed is also a key component in the volatile or chaotic, whatever VUCA world we talk about since ages now. So speed
Hmm.
is also one of the important factors, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, good. So I mean, we talked about that. Actually, it is doing pandemic or remote situation, not pandemic. Remote situation is doing good to decision making. It's increasing the speed. So how do leaders make sure, whether remote or not remote, that decision making process is inclusive also?
Look, it is not that leaders ensure.
Hmm.
It is leaders must ensure that the decision making process is inclusive.
Hmm.
Because if you look at the history of the organizations, you will find that the people who try to make decisions autocratically, those organizations don't last longer. Wherever you put brains of people at work, and then you get better decisions, the quality of decision improves.
Yeah.
Suppose
Yeah.
you have a single person making decision and a group of people making decision, the chances of that group of people make decisions, those will be 67% better than the
Mm-hmm.
decisions made by individuals, because collectively people come together and add value.
Yeah.
Now in that group, and this is not that I'm talking based on my whims and fancies, this is based on the research data.
I'm sure.
They
Yeah.
say that if you add, say, gender diversity in the same group,
Mm-hmm.
then the same percentage goes by another 10%.
Yeah.
And if you add ethnic diversity to it, then that 66% actually goes to somewhere around 86, 87%.
Okay.
Uh, the quality of decision increases when
Yeah.
ethnic diversity, gender diversity is there in the group which is making decisions.
Yeah.
Now you must be thinking, okay, ethnic diversity and gender diversity, how do they help?
Yeah.
Just by putting people from different genders and different ethnicity, that doesn't improve decision making. It is
Mm-hmm.
like when you're making a decision about a product, you will bring people with the competency set who are into product management. Then there are
Yeah.
people who are into engineering. Then there are people who are basically interacting with customer, your sales guys, your service guys. In fact, Cisco has been very successful uh, in their product development division, when what they did was they actually connected their product development team with their customer service guys, and they got
Okay.
lot more insights. That now, what are you doing here? You are actually making a cross functional connection and you are bringing diversity of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we should not limit it to a ethnic background or gender. These are the factors because of which people think differently,
Absolutely.
and that is something, diversity of thought is very, very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. That's
And
right.
uh, that makes difference to decision making.
Absolutely, yeah. So diversity is a very very important component of effective, creative, and inclusive decisions. Yeah. Thank you so much for bringing that. I think that's very important point. So we talked about decision making. So how do leaders make sure that decisions are also communicated effectively? Many times we hear that people complain that decisions are not communicated effectively. So, do you have maybe one, two, three, couple of suggestions to leaders who are listening to this conversation, that how should they actually, make sure that they are communicated effectively also?
So look, if decisions are not communicated, then the entire effect of the decision goes away. You
Yeah,
make a decision and people don't understand what is the rationale of this, there will
yeah,
be more problem. uh, and one of the reasons is that your entire hierarchy in the organization, that channel which is called the formal channel, you should
yeah,
communicate it through the formal channel. If you
hmm,
see organizations like Netflix, their
yeah,
basic communication actually still goes through memos.
hmm,
It can be electronic memo, and their memos are very strong way of telling this is how the decision has been taken, or this is how the
hmm,
decision has been made. Uh, so one is the structure of the communication, and second is the channels. In fact, there is a proper methodology, but I don't think time will uh, permit us to go through that entire campfire methodology. So I'm just picking key points from there. Second is you can actually pick up. There are informal networks within the organization.
absolutely, yeah, yeah,
So this is called organization network analysis. This is a subject in
yeah,
itself. You
yeah,
identify organization that, okay, these are the people who are actually holding control of your informal networks.
yeah,
You make sure that people are that these people are engaged, they are your brand ambassadors, and message is being communicated through them also. So in case your formal structure fails, people get to know about a particular uh, uh, decision through that. Third is
Yeah.
what we are doing right now.
Yeah.
Do a chat show,
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
uh, and let people listen to it. So
Yeah.
that is another way of direct communication when people hear from the leaders who are
Yeah.
coming and chatting about a particular decision. Why there are so many chat shows on television discussing about policy, this policy is right, this policy is wrong. It is not that they are fighting, it is that they are communicating to people what are the positives, what are the negatives, so that people of India understand the policies of government of India in a better manner.
Yeah.
Any decision which is taken, people understand that. So you can actually copy that entire methodology and do, if you are able to bring those discussions where people are talking about it, then uh, your communication to the last level is successful. So I've
Mm.
given you multiple
Yeah.
channels and methods. Now what you can do is whatever works for you. Don't depend on one channel, because moment you start depending on one channel, you're signing up for failure.
Yeah.
Make sure
Yeah.
through multiple channels you're delivering the same message. Be Himesh Reshamya. Repeat one thing again.
Again and again.
You
Yeah.
don't, through different channels, because if you start sending the same mail 10 times, it will go to a junk box. So that doesn't
Yeah.
work. So
Yeah.
when we say
Yeah.
over communication, don't over communicate through one channel.
Yeah.
You should communicate through multiple channels. Over
Multiple.
communication, uh, this is not over communication. This is basically coverage of communication. Over communication, I still say, is bad.
Yeah, yeah, that's a awesome point. Thank you so much for bringing that point that don't depend on one channel when it comes to communication of your decisions. Thank you so much. And as we are, coming towards end of the show, any other suggestions, tools, or anything else you want to say to leaders before we sign up?
So don't bind yourself with your own rules. I will give you a story. Airbnb story. Airbnb, when they were building the Airbnb, they were flatting out the revenue at $200 per week.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their founder members, investors actually from Y Combinator, he came and he said, you know, he looked at the whole site and he said, you know, what is problem with this whole site is the pictures are not good. They actually went out to New York, took the photographer, hired a photographer, clicked the photographs, loaded them. The business doubled next week. And you know, it is $1 billion company. They were
Absolutely.
not doing it because they created a rule that everything we do should be scalable. And here, what they found was somebody coming and telling them, boss, it should be sellable, and then look at scalable. And that created a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah,
This one point, otherwise they would have failed and we would not have got Airbnb.
absolutely.
So keep that in
Absolutely.
mind. That will help you a lot as you move forward.
Cool. Thank you so much, Harjeet, for sharing very, very valuable insights. I'm sure it is going to be of lot of value to the leaders.
My pleasure.
Thank you everyone for joining us live. And if you're watching this as a recording, thanks to you too. I'm sure you must have got value from today's discussion, and you will keep implementing these learnings. Thank you a lot, Harjeet. It was wonderful discussing with you. It's a topic, and to all of you who are listening to the show, Harjeet is writing a book on this topic of decision making, and it's keep following him for knowing more details. That when is this book coming and what is it having for you as leaders. Thank you so much, Harjeet, once again.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
See you all again in the next episode of the series. All the best. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.